Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby Koay, joined by Achara Kirk.
What's up?
We're talking about Godzilla vs. Kong.
Woo woo.
And this is directed by Adam Wingard, written by Eric Pearson and Max Borenstein. The story's by Terry Rossio, Michael Dougherty, and Zach Shields.
Yay!
It's starring Alex Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, and Rebecca Hall. So it says here on IMDb, the epic next chapter in the cinematic monsterverse pits two of the greatest icons in motion picture history against one another, the fearsome Godzilla and the mighty Kong.
Woo!
With humanity caught in the balance.
Okay, trick question. Which team are you?
Kong.
Yeah, me too.
Easily.
Yes!
So, yeah, I was rooting for Kong.
I was, yeah.
And so, this will be a very, very short review. I think it was an awesome action popcorn flick.
Yep.
And the only complaint I really had in this entire movie was I didn't care for most of the human people.
I mean,
the human element was
the
just
movie is called Godzilla versus
Yeah.
Kong. No one is going there to
Yeah.
watch Millie Bobby Brown get emotional.
Well, all
You
I'm
know
trying to
what I
say
mean?
is the human element was kind of lacking here in this film.
Yeah.
But that's not what you're going for. What you're going for is the battle between these two monsters, right? And so that it delivers. It delivers very, very strong. And I was really happy and it was exhilarating to watch that. The only issue I had with that element was that sometimes I felt like the motion was too quick. And so it took away from the gravitas of the size of these monsters because they were moving as if you're looking at two humans move. And that was the only issue I had sometimes.
Right. I mean, I just kind of didn't really think too hard about that because I just figured like, okay, yes, they're huge, but they're also really strong, and probably with that comes a certain amount of speed. I don't know physics. I'm not a scientist, physicist, whatever.
Right.
But it worked for me, and I had a really, really fun time with it.
The only thing is, I think that when you add speed or too much speed, it takes away from the scalability a little bit. Like, I feel,
Right.
like as a kid, when I watched ants, they showed a human compared to an ant and how slow their feet moved compared to an ant, right?
Got it.
And
Okay.
so when the character's moving too quick, it just feels human instead of huge and epic. That's the only thing. But it still was a lot of fun. Like, the fight scenes were great between the monsters in this film. It was definitely worth the price of admission, and I would definitely recommend it for the big screen.
I will say, though, that my favorite human character was definitely the little girl who was Kong's BFF. I thought she was great, and there were some really lovely moments between her and Kong.
Her name is Kaylee Hottle.
Yes.
Hottle.
She's lovely. I love Kaylee Hottle.
Oh, she
my
comes
gosh,
from an
she's
all-deaf family. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow. So she does actually speak American Sign Language. That's awesome. She
We're learning things on the fly here.
I know. She was so cute.
Yeah, she was really
And
good.
just like, I don't know, there was just something about her performance that just seemed really grounded. Whereas, she's surrounded by a bunch of other, older and more experienced actors.
Yeah.
And I thought like they did serviceable performances and like they were pretty good.
Yeah.
But overall, it's like I said, you're not really going there for the human characters, and I feel like the writers and the director knew that.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I think she was a really standout character, and it was because of her performance more than anything else. Like, I thought that she, you really felt like she was a girl from the place that she said she's from,
Yeah.
that sort of world, and you really felt the relationship between her and Kong. You
Yeah.
felt like the emotion she was conveying, which is a lot for a little girl because she doesn't know what this person looks like. She's looking at nothing. It's
Yeah.
a green screen. Her performance is even more stellar and noteworthy because of that, because she made that relationship with Kong work very, very, very well.
Yeah.
In my opinion. The film moves along at a clip.
Yeah.
And so
it's like action from the start.
Yes, so you will not get bored watching this.
Mm-hmm.
It moves and moves and moves, and it really expands on what we have come to learn about these creatures so far. Like, it dives deeper than the previous films did, and I like that a lot.
And talking about the creatures, they did such a great job with the look of them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, just in terms of the VFX, and, we talked about this in the trailer reactions, but like Kong's fur.
Mm-hmm.
I also loved the way Godzilla looked, and just like how reptilian he looked, and the way he moved, and his jaw and all that. I was like, wow, these guys have really put in a lot of research and like learned the animals from the animal kingdom,
Yeah.
and just use that knowledge to make these monsters look so real.
If you guys are able to watch this in theaters, I would definitely recommend watching it in either 3D, IMAX, or 4DX, because I feel like that this is the perfect vehicle for those kinds of experiences. It's very epic in scale. It doesn't do too much crazy, nauseating camera work in the movie. I think it's done at the service of the story, and it's not done in a way that's distracting. It only enhances what you're watching in the film. And so if you can watch it in 4DX, 3D, or IMAX, those are definitely the way to go with this particular film. And it's not a crazy long movie. At least it didn't feel that way when we were watching it. So I would imagine, like, if you are concerned about watching something for too long in that format, it's an hour and 53 minutes. It moves along quick. I think that's the way to watch it. It is a ride of a movie.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to watch it on the big screen as well. With your brother, the Real Rejects invited us along to Cinemark, and that was super fun. It was awesome to be in a movie theater again for like the first time in a year.
Yeah.
And with this film, I'm so glad that we got to watch it on the big screen.
Exactly. As I was saying earlier, the human element kind of sucks in this movie, and it has to do with both the acting and the writing. Maybe the writing informs the acting. Who knows? It just was all a bit silly and ham-fisted and hammy and just clunky. Like, I didn't care for any of that stuff. I almost wish that it wasn't there at all.
Yeah.
Except for Kaylee Hodel, or Hodel. I don't know how to pronounce, or Hotle. I don't know how you pronounce her name. But with the exception of her, like, I didn't really care about anyone else in this film. And I wish that there was just less of them, because it didn't matter to me. The only humans I wanted to see more of is actually like bystanders, because normally in a huge action flick like this, you see a lot of bystanders running and screaming like, "Oh God!" You know, you didn't get much of that in this movie. That was the only thing that was lacking in terms of like scale, because I think that would have actually helped the scale a lot more. Even with the fast movement that I was complaining about, if you actually saw people running away and whatnot, then you'd get a better sense of the scope, the size of it all. And the only time there was a couple of instances where you got that, but for the most part, I lost that sense in this movie. I love the action. I thought the action was great.
Sure, yeah. I see what you're saying.
But I would have loved more nuances to help us, constantly feel the scope of it. Kind of like Pacific Rim. I like this better than Pacific Rim overall, but in Pacific Rim, the credit I would give it over this is that you never forgot the scale of things. It's like the whole time, it always felt like, humongous.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah, it was so. My thoughts sort of trailed off there. That was it. This is me just being a dude, but Eiza Gonzalez was in this film.
Yeah.
And even though you're not supposed to like her, I really liked her. I thought she was hot. Just gonna put it out there.
She's a beautiful lady.
Yeah.
Like, I noticed her for the first time in Baby Driver. She's gorgeous. You're gonna notice her.
Yeah. The moment she showed up, I was like, okay, hold my popcorn, please. I didn't even have any popcorn.
Yeah.
But I was just...
Why do you lie?
Yeah, I wasn't willing to eat. We were masked the entire time. No, but she's definitely on the that short list. The what do you call it? What's that list from Friends? The okay list?
Oh, the one where if you're in a relationship, then
exactly.
if you had an opportunity with her, you're allowed to take it?
She would definitely be on my list.
Okay.
Yes. This is me being gross and being a guy.
A dude.
So
okay.
a dude. She was just like, what? No, yes, more of her. There's talented people in this movie.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the name talent in this film, like Kyle Chandler, for instance. Every time I see him in a movie, I love watching him. I saw him in Super 8. I saw him in Wolf of Wall Street. Like, he's really, really good. But I just didn't care about him in this movie, and I didn't care about anyone. And they're all very talented actors.
Yeah, like I love Alexander Skarsgård. I love Rebecca Hall. Yeah. I thought that they did a pretty good job, all things considered, but they didn't really stand out to me.
Oh, yeah, all I'm thinking about is Eiza Gonzalez and how happy I was to see her, and the performance by Kaylee Hodel. She was her name. The way I'm saying her name is going to keep changing, but anyway.
It was a super fun film.
It was definitely a super fun film, and you guys should check it out. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
Achara Kirk.
Peace out.